Well, thank you for joining us on Business Now. I am Frank Komalape. And now the oil and gas sector recorded a 36% premium retention in 2022 and ranked as the underwriting sector with the lowest premium retention in the country according to the National Insurance Commission. The Commission disclosed this in its Bulletin of the Insurance Market Performance Statistics Department quarterly report of the insurance market for fourth quarter 2022. According to the report, the average premium that the entire insurance companies were able to retain locally stood at 71.3% in the period under review. The report stated that in the non-life segment, which also took a similar pattern, motor insurance continued its lead as the highest retained portfolio with a retention ratio of about 93.5%, also a point higher than its standing in the prior quarter. He said oil and gas recorded the least at about 35.9%, just as the oil and gas portfolio lamentably remain a challenging angle in the market owing to its nature of the enormous capital and professional requirement. The report said in the face of operational challenges posed in domestic and global economies, the industry continued to post inspiring numbers in business retention, reflective of the market resilience and increasing capacity. And the period under review, industry-wide average retention ratio stood at about 71.3%, although slightly a point lower than it held in the previous quarter and 4 points lower in comparison to the same period. And now the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has released the second edition of the Subnational Ease of Doing Business Report for 2023, which once again places Gombe and Jigawa ahead of the 36th state and the Federal Capital Territory. Gombe, referred to as the Joe of the Savannah, recorded a weighted score of 7.15 to reemerge as the state providing the friendliest environment for business. Placed second is Jigawa State with 6.79%, followed in third by Sokoto State with 6.88%. Since 2017, the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has been implementing reforms aimed at removing bureaucratic constraints to doing business and making Nigeria a progressively easier place to do business. It subsequently made a proposal to the National Economic Council to replicate the Ease of Doing Business initiative at the subnational level, which was unanimously approved in July 2017. Nigeria's subnational Ease of Doing Business report was undertaken by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council to provide empirical information on the attractiveness of state business climate and to serve as a credible reference resource for businesses and investors. The 2023 Subnational Ease of Doing Business report builds on the inaugural Subnational Ease of Doing Business baseline report released in March 2021 and improves it in several areas, including deepening of the methodology and enhancing the statistical significance of the survey. Away from there now, Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke had expressed readiness of his administration to collaborate with the African Development Bank and tap into opportunities provided by the organization through its $618 million tech fund. The governor directed the establishment of a support desk for Russian tech innovators and entrepreneurs to access the recently launched $618 million tech fund by the African Development Bank. A statement by the spokesperson to the governor, Olawale Rashid, obtained in Osogbo on Sunday, said that while reacting to the initiative, Adeleke commended the president of the African Development Bank, Akiumi Adesina. He said the administration he led had created an enabling environment for Osun tech ecosystem, citing the recently unfolded state ICT policy, state tech innovation policy, the domestication of Nigeria's Startup Act, the flag of the state's broadband fiber optic project, and the establishment of a digital advisory board. He urged technology and creative sector entrepreneurs in Osun to engage directly with the government and register as stakeholders operating within the state. And in the meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria has partnered with the Deji of Akure Oba Alade Toyinbo Alade Lucy on the usage of a digital currency called a Naira a platform. The CBN said the partnership was to preach the use of cashless transaction channels to residents of Akure and the state at large. Speaking at Deji's Palace at the weekend, the acting branch manager of Akure branch of the CBN, Samuel Giwa, said the policy was an initiative of the APS Bank with the aim of reducing the fiscal cash in transactions and promote the adoption of digital payments. Giwa explained that the new digital currency called e-Naira was introduced in 2012 and will increase financial inclusion, reduce corruption and money laundering, and improve the efficiency of the financial system. He said the e-Naira is not just a currency but an important step towards building a more robust and secure financial ecosystem and was designed to make transactions easier, efficient and more secure. In his remarks, Alade Lucy said all the alternative means of economic transactions introduced by the CBN were laudable and asked the bank and commercial banks to provide reliable and efficient infrastructure to make the policy endeared to Nigerians and hit-free. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to explore viable options to tackle the country's surge in inflation, as the frequent interest rate hikes were not producing the desired result. The Chamber made this known in a statement signed by the Director General Chinyere Mona. And according to statement since April 2022, inflation has increased from 16.82% to 21.91% in February, despite a 6.5% increase in the key rate over the same period. The Chamber said it expected the CBN to hold off an increase, or at best moderate the key rates, given the weak relationship between it and inflation, especially after manufacturers and other businesses were groaning under the high borrowing costs and the cash crisis. The statement said inflation chips away at purchasing power, leading to inventory stockpiles, undermines growth and creates a lot of economic uncertainties, adding that taming it, however, will not be done at the expense of growth at the most vulnerable sectors. He further said that the instrumentality of monetary policy alone appears insufficient to guarantee the desired result of low, stable, and predictable prices. The Chamber advocated that the structural rigidities around infrastructure and agriculture should be looked into and tackled to rein in inflation. And now, small business operators under the aegis of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises have asked the Central Bank of Nigeria to review its cashless policy to enhance business growth. The National Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Association of Small-Scale Industrialists, Segun Kuti George, lamented the effect of the recent cash scarcity and stressed the need for the CBN to carry out a complete review of the cashless policy. The CBN on Thursday reversed the cashless policy. However, the National Vice President of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Solomon Aderoju, said the hardship faced by the macro enterprises during the recent cash crunch was severe, noting that the complete review was necessary. On his part, the National President of the Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, Femi Egbeshola, said many businesses had contended with a lot of challenges in their operating environment. Egbeshola further stated that the association had conducted a study to ascertain the impact of Naira scarcity on small businesses, adding that the result of the study revealed that the fact that 19% of small businesses had shut down as a result of the cash crunch, while many others were on the verge of closing up shop. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry had argued that the Nigerian economy was primarily cash-based, as over 80% of the transactions in volume terms are conducted via fiscal exchange of the Naira.